What's going on, guys? T Lake here, and today we're going to be talking about what is going on with NMDs. Now, we all know the NMD model really took sneaker world by storm in 2016. It technically released late 2015, but by far and away it was the best new model for Adidas. Now, one of the things that Adidas has been plagued with is production issues, late shipment quantities. They are doing a ton to invest in production numbers. There's in fact a Boost factory that's being opened up here domestically in the United States to be the first United States factory making Boost for Adidas. So they are scaling everything up 20 fold in some cases. What does this mean? Well, for the sneakerhead, it means something different than the typical consumer. So as a sneakerhead, you probably saw like a duck camo. It was a pretty easy cop for you, but the consumer that's just now getting on the NMD, the non-early adopter, sneakerheads were the early adopters. Now you'll be getting moms, dads, kids, normcore kids, basically trying to figure out, where can I get an NMD? And surprisingly, at most malls, they're just flying off the shelf. So Adidas knows that. They've invested in getting more factories open, and they've scaled up production. How do we know this? A perfect case in point is the OG NMD that just released this past weekend on Adidas. Previously, this model was limited, extremely limited, usually 1,000 pairs or under. All the runs of NMDs when they first got started were very small. They couldn't keep up the demand with Ultra Boost, and as a result, things flew off the shelves very quickly, prices rose, and for resellers, this was a great thing. Recently, the OG NMD dropped 20,000 pairs online at Adidas. That is an insane amount compared to some Yeezy releases or other coveted releases. This is an insane amount, and that doesn't even begin to include distribution to other Adidas sites in the UK, etc., consortium accounts, that sort of thing. So they made an insane amount comparatively to last year. Well, what does this mean for Adidas? Well, it means that they're flooding the market. And why they're doing that? Well, like we talked about, that consumer, that late adopter that's picking up all the product now, they are going to be buying these NMDs, kind of filling in that gap where the sneakers may not be reselling or selling out instantly, but they're gradually selling out from that consumer that wanted a pair but couldn't get them because they weren't that accessible. This is very similar in a sense to what Jordan Brand's doing with some of their most coveted models. So the Royal Jordan 1 is coming back out. Production numbers are really high, but unlike Adidas where they're trying to grow in a certain segment with Boost specifically, Jordan Brand has to hit their marks to reach a greater goal for Nike revenue, and one way they know they can do that is by increasing production numbers for some of their most coveted models that they know they can easily blow through 700, 800,000 pairs of. Again, that's nowhere near the number of 20,000 OG NMDs that Adidas put up, but it is signaling that they're trying to scale up their numbers in a similar way. End result, bad for resellers, good for people that want to pick up the sneakers. I think 2017 is going to be a great year for some of the most coveted models, being able to pick them up for retail. And I think it's going to be a great year for some of the models where you're like, oh, those are dope, but I'd love to get them 20 or 30% off. I think that's going to be the continued theme of 2017 in my opinion. Also, if you don't own Adidas stock, I definitely think that there's room for them to grow. I'm still holding their stock after seeing the production numbers increase so wildly. I think it'd be almost impossible for them to not report at least 2 or 3 more quarters of increased revenue and growth. So I'm super excited for them, super excited for you guys to be able to pick up some sneakers without paying crazy resale prices, and super excited to share more under retail deals on Kicks Under Cost and my Twitter. So T Blake signing out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. T Blake signing out. Peace, guys.